is Tarik Talk. Your host, Tarik Mendez, takes you on a journey with guests from all around the world. Broadcasting around the world. Around the world. This is Tarik Talk.
Hey guys, I'm so happy to be here today with Jay Golden. I'm at the Men of Contemporary, and he's one of the artists of the ESKFF residencies, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for being here, Jay.
Thank you for having me.
How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. A little bit tired, but...
A little bit tired? You got this. You got this. I know today is the closing reception, so we're here like early in the morning, so I really appreciate you taking the time for me to do this interview prior, because I know you must be so busy with like getting the studio ready and everything like that. Right. So do you want to start off telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So I'm Jay Golding. I'm a figurative artist. A lot of my work is kind of inspired by my Jamaican heritage, infused with the influence that African culture has had in my life since I was a child. So a lot of my stuff, you'll see figures wearing masks from Africa, Mexico. I was recently there during the pandemic. So just the inspiration I got from being there and the people and some of the ceremonies I did just started to seep into the work, and that's actually been the biggest inspiration so far in the series that I'm working on. But from Jersey for the most part. I left Jamaica when I was 7, and throughout my life I used to draw on and off. It wasn't something that I really looked at as a career, and it wasn't until after I left high school where I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I just said, let me study art. And after I studied at Kean. After I went to Kean and just had really good mentors that kind of helped me just learn the basic fundamentals, it just pushed me to really take it another step further. Oh,
that's dope. And do you think being from another culture has like influenced your work?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah? Definitely. I think even just the way that I interact with other people and interact with people from different cultures, it's kind of, for me, it feels more natural, because I remember just coming here, being an immigrant and going to school for the first time and having a heavy accent and seeing how people responded to the way that I spoke. And so whenever I go other places and meet other people from other cultures, it's just, there's that relationship I feel that I just automatically have with them.
Mm-hmm. That's really dope. Thank you for sharing that. And what's your creative process like in your studio? Are you like an artist that go in the morning? Like, do you prefer to work in the morning, the nighttime, the afternoon?
So it kind of changes. It shifts. I go through these weird shifts where sometimes I like to work very early, and then other times I'll be up late. As of lately, it's been more. I come in the morning, and then by like 5-6 p.m. I'm usually out of the studio.
Oh wow!
And then I just go and rest. But then there's some moments where, for whatever reason, I'll just be up late till like 3 a.m. sometimes. Oh wow. And I'll just be like a night owl. So I go through these weird back and forth shifts within just how I stay up at night, or just morning person, night person, morning person, night person.
So you're just like basically like spontaneous. Just
I just kind of let especially creatively. I would say especially creatively. A lot of times now I like to just allow whatever that creative flow is at the moment. I kind of let that set the pace, and then I just meet it halfway and just work with it from there.
Oh, that's pretty dope. And then, do you get inspired by like other people? Like, you're an artist that you kind of have to be by yourself, or do you enjoy like having people around you, or pets, or anything like that?
So that's another one where it's kind of like both. Like with this residency, it's been beautiful because all the other artists, it's such an international group as well. So I've just been learning a lot from all the other artists. Like, I'll take a break sometimes when I'm painting and go sit with Louise.
Oh, wow. Leonard, shout out to Louise.
Yeah, or Leonard, Patricia, and just we'll have conversations, and we'll give each other feedback on our work. So having that has been very great, because the last time I had something like that was when I was actually studying in school. And so I can go without that, but it feels really great to have it. So I think the main thing is just that balance. Yeah.
And when you get in the studio, like, what's your routine like? Do you get to work right away? Do you need like a coffee, like read the paper, chill out for an hour?
Usually tea. Like, I'll usually if I get here before everyone else, I'll usually just unwind a little bit and just kind of look at some of the pieces that I started working on and just kind of take it in. And usually I'll go over to where Louise is because she has the tea maker. So I'll usually go over there and start making tea, and then she usually come in right around that time and we'll have a chat, and then I'll usually get to work.
You know, I have to share something. You have like very good energy and very good vibes.
Oh, thank you.
And I swear, like everybody that has good energy and good vibes, they always start like they're an artist. They always start with tea. So that's so funny because I just recently observed that, like interviewing different people or like going to my friend's studio. Yeah. Like when I see tea, I'm like, oh, you know, I can always tell because they're chill. But when I say coffee, I'm like, okay, they're more like get to work. They don't have patience because I'm like that. Like I drink like 5 espressos in the morning. I don't have patience for anything to get to work.
Leonard's like that. Leonard loves coffee. Yeah. He's always. Him and Patricia, they both are coffee drinkers. Okay.
And did you ever do a collaboration with any artists, like painting wise or art making?
Yeah. So I have a bunch of collaborations actually, and that's something that I've been thinking about lately, about actually presenting that soon. So the last collaboration I did, had to be about last year, actually. A friend of mine he lives in Bushwick. He's an amazing tattoo artist. He actually did these 2 tattoos.
Right I was checking that out. That's dope.
He goes by Above the Spell.
Wow, this is cool too.
Yeah.
That looks like, what is that? Looks like Polynesian inspired?
That's like, he can probably tell you better, but that's like some of these, he calls it like his cosmic symbols. And so he creates them. He told me that this little triangle right here is a mushroom, actually.
Oh, that's dope.
And these are like some of his characters that he creates. So
that's
really
dope.
Amazing artist.
We're talking about his tattoos right now, and if you're comfortable, I'd love to share those on Instagram so people get a vibe and they know what we're talking about. That's pretty dope. Because that kind of looks like a little Murakami, but like more like fun and chill, you know.
Which one? This one?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the.
Yeah, you would love his work. I'll show you his work.
That's really cool. Yeah, we'll definitely share that on the Instagram. And then also, like, who's your influences? Like, who are you inspired by? Is it like only the art world, music, fashion, architect?
Okay, so I'm gonna start with the art for a little bit. So, in terms of like the painters and things like that, it's a mixture. It's, when I was in school, I studied Caravaggio a lot, just like his techniques. Frida Kahlo in terms of. Just her ability to express her emotions. I really like that about her. So I kind of like studied that about her and just like tapped into that to just really be more vulnerable with some of my work. Picasso came a little bit later. I didn't really care for Picasso when I was in school, but a little bit of Van Gogh, Michelangelo, like some, Norman Rockwell. One of my mentors is actually, he studied under Rockwell, so learned a lot from him. And as of lately, there's a bunch of artists that I've just been finding through Instagram. So a bunch of the young artists that are doing their things now. One is Raylis Vasquez. He's an amazing Dominican artist. Kyrie Turner, Chloe Wise. There's so many artists. And then in terms of fashion, my cousin is more into fashion, so I don't really follow fashion brands, but in terms of fashion, I would say like if I just see anything that's kind of like African inspired in some way, or even like anything that has like a ninja aesthetic, I'm drawn to. Dope. I'm very drawn to those types of looks. So sometimes I play off of that a little bit and try to incorporate some of those to my works, like even like ancient Greek mythology armor. Like sometimes I'll blend that and blend it with African culture types of fashion and put that on some of the characters, because mythology is also another theme that is very like woven into my work. So.
Yeah, you should come to Brazil. Like
I have friends in Brazil now, so I'm definitely gonna
check
visit
it out. We'll definitely like link up and stuff.
Is that where you're from?
Yeah, I'm from Brazil.
Yeah, kill me. I need to go.
Yeah, I feel like you would love like the North. Art and architecture, because it's very much like as you mentioned before. Yeah,
my friend Matthew, who's there now, he was actually 2 years ago, like during the pandemic, or 3 years now, I would say, left Jersey for a little bit with my cousin and some friends, and went to California just to be there for a month, and then that turned into 4 months.
Oh wow!
And then I ended up in Tulum.
Oh wow! Like 4 months. That's amazing.
And during that 4 months time in Tulum, my friend Matthew, who was with us, he met someone Noyes, who's Brazilian, and he ended up going out there with her, and they have a baby now.
Wow.
And so they always tell me, you need to come. And Matthew says all the time, like, Brazil is just like a bigger Jamaica. That's what he always tells me.
Yeah, we have like a huge Jamaican population. Like one of my mom's best friends, she met this lady. She was Jamaican, and they were both like they were both pregnant, about to give birth. So they just, I guess, met somehow each other in the hospital. And me and her kids are still friends to this day. Wow. She taught me like the juk and twist.
Yeah.
Taught me like a lot of stuff, like a lot of like slangs and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's always the best food, the best culture. Like I love how like the family orientation is. You know how everybody's so close to help. Like even with strangers, like they just help out everybody that needs help. I really admire that. And going back to the residency, like what's next for you here? Like after this?
So after this, I've been just really looking at getting some more opportunities in New York. So there are a few galleries and just other residencies and other opportunities that I've been just looking to apply to and getting going. And tomorrow I actually have a show at Akwaaba Gallery in Newark.
Oh wow, okay.
So
and how long would that show last for?
That show's up until the end of July, I believe. It's a part of, there's like a festival going on right now. It's called North to Shore.
Oh, I don't know.
And it's like a 3-city between Asbury Park, Newark, and I can't remember the third city. Asbury Park, Newark, and another city. And they have like different performances going on in different parts of it.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah.
So her show is in conjunction with Akwaaba Gallery is run by Caribbean curator Laura Palmer, and so she's having it's a group show with me and a bunch of other artists from Jersey, and
that's really cool.
Definitely honored to be a part of that show.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely excited. If I might be away, but I'll definitely try to make it. And I'll share that on Instagram too if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah, of course.
But what I wanted to ask also is, you mentioned that you're in California and Tulum. Do you find that experience and that traveling like somehow ends up in your work?
Yeah, definitely. I did so much work in California, and I met a really amazing family there that they still they've been looking after a lot of the work I did when I was there because shipping is so expensive.
Yes.
But with California, the early months that I was there, I did a couple landscape paintings of just my environment. So I did one of the beach as well, and so that was pretty much where it stopped in terms of the California influence in that work. But Mexico definitely, a lot of the culture there definitely seeped into my work, even till now. Just like the Mayan culture, and after I left Tulum, I went to Jamaica for 6 months, and then I went back to Mexico, and then I was in I was in Merida, like that region.
Oh,
you could say,
yeah.
I love it over there.
I haven't been, but I heard it's beautiful.
Yeah, you would love it.
Yeah.
You would love it. The culture out there is so rich. Like,
I love Mexico, yeah.
The art, the music. Like, one time I was walking down the street, and there was just this guy walking, just playing a saxophone. Just very casual.
Yeah,
and they have this beautiful jazz club and restaurant.
Oh wow.
And it's open till like I think like 3 a.m.
Wow.
And so like they have like an upstairs rooftop area where you just have bands from all over.
That's
just
dope.
Amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
One of the I think, and my friend Rodrigo was actually telling me that.
Is he Brazilian?
No, he's from Guadalajara. His father's from Spain and his mother is
I was asking, that's like a very common Brazilian name.
Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but he was telling me that Merida is actually like basically the safest city in Mexico and beautiful. Yeah, there's actually some elements of it too that kind of remind me of being here in like the Northeast. Yeah, just some of their downtown areas. There would be times where I felt like I was in Jersey City a little bit, and just beautiful, the architecture, everything.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's dope. And then going back to ideas and inspirations, where does ideas come for you? Like, because you mentioned you travel a lot. That's where my ideas come from when I'm in motion, like in a plane or driving. Where do ideas come for you? Like, is it like when you're sleeping, when you're just like chilling out, or what's that process like for you?
Yeah, it's a mixture. Sometimes when I'm taking a shower, sometimes from books. So like I'll keep certain books around me, just for especially like I have books that have like a lot of African art in there and masks, and so sometimes I'll pull from that. Sometimes a thought will just come to me just randomly. You know, and sometimes it really is just those things, traveling, sitting on a bus somewhere in Mexico and just looking out the window, and just seeing a scene, just seeing like a family walking or something, and all of a sudden like an idea comes to me. So
and what's that process like for you? Do you like write the idea down? Do you like leave it in your head to like incubate? Do you go to like your note app, or like how does it work for you? Like when you see something,
a lot of time I like to take pictures. So if it's something that if I'm like looking at something specific in my environment and I'm like, oh, whoa, this immediately see an idea, I'll take a picture of that and then I'll add on to it with other ideas, or sometimes even when I'm in the studio and I'm in the process of creating, other ideas will just come in the midst of while I'm painting, and then I'll just either remove something and add that to it, or just add that onto what I was already doing.
And I have a question. You mentioned sometimes you get in early and you leave by 6 or 5-ish. Yeah. How do you handle? Because I get like a lot of people ask this question. Like ask me to ask the people I interview. Like how do you handle like when you go to the studio, you show up, you do the work, but then like it's just like an off day. Like how are you able to bounce back from that? Like do you kind of push yourself to stay there until the product is finished, or do you like chill out and come back, like try to come back a different day?
Yeah, I'll usually chill out. And the cool thing about being here at ESKFF and having the other artists around is that sometimes I use that as time to just go sit down and see what Leonard's doing, or have a chat with Louise. Me and Louise, we've bonded the most out of everyone here. So we have a lot of talks just about, you know, African culture. Sometimes she'll like share her insights with me. Sometimes I'll just look at her work and just give feedback. Yeah,
you guys should do a collab.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
I think that would be great too.
Yeah, that would be dope.
If she has time. I think she's leaving next Wednesday, so we'll see.
And then this residency, I believe today is the last day. Is that correct?
So today's the closing reception. The 28th, which is next Wednesday, is like the final day.
Last day.
That's when we move everything out, and another group is going to come for, I think they have a summer residency.
Oh, okay, got you. Yeah. And then can you share with us your Instagram and website, just so, because you have like the events coming up, so people can like keep track and attend your upcoming show? Yeah, definitely. So the Instagram is jgoldingart, JAYGOLDINGART, and the website is jgolding.art. Got it. And then if people want to reach out for you for commission, are you open to like commission? Because I had a previous guest.
At the moment, I'm not doing commissions, but hey, I mean, if the price sounds
the idea
appealing,
is dope. Then okay, sounds good. Do you want to share with us what you're working on in the moment?
Yeah. So right now, one of the series out of the many that I'm working on is it's a series of this royal family. And they're from a village called Majiablu, that's Swahili. Louise has also been helping with Swahili, so a lot of the works I'll title and give Swahili titles and things of that nature. And a lot of these characters, they have purple skin, and they have their own symbols. So these are all symbols that I've created myself and just gave meaning to as well. So it's going to be like a whole universe.
And what kind of medium do you use? Do you have a preference like between oil or acrylic or oil sticks?
Oil is like my ultimate favorite, but I haven't been using oil much in the past few years because it was just easier to travel and use acrylic. And so I've just still been like in that zone of using acrylic. But I think after this residency ends this summer, I'm just gonna go right back to mostly doing oils.
Got you. And will you be based like in Jersey or?
Yeah, I'll be in Jersey for I want to say through the fall. I do have some plans to travel, but things have been falling through a lot recently, so I don't know. It's kind of like up in the air.
Got you.
I'm supposed to be going to Ghana at some point.
Oh, that's so amazing. Oh, wow, that's so cool.
That's also another place that's like heavily inspired by my work.
Are you doing like a residency there?
No, so in Ghana, my aunt, I have family there.
Oh, wow.
My aunt, she's my mother's sister. She's had land in Ghana for years, and during the pandemic, she moved out there for good, and she's building a village. So,
oh wow,
yeah, she granted me a piece of land. In the
wow,
village,
that's beautiful. That's amazing. Congrats.
So I have to go over there and like survey and look at the land and figure out how I want to build and things of that nature.
Yeah,
so.
Please take as many pictures as you can so we can like live through you and your adventures there.
Definitely,
that would be dope. Yeah. Jay, thank you so much for being on the podcast. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise.
I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited for everybody to come check your work out today at the ESKFF reception. Congrats on that again. And it was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Likewise. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Tarik Talk. Follow Tarik Talk on all social media channels and check out the video interviews online.